On October 31st, Halloween, Obama appeared on The Shop with LeBron James.
My earpiece just fell out.
I saw that. Grab his earpiece.
If you will excuse me 1 second.
No worries.
You'd think with big ears like this it would stay in.
The Shop is a show where men sit around inside of a barber shop and talk about different issues.
And he turned to me, he's like, I just made you a fucking movie star.
But why choose the barber shop? Have you ever wondered about the barber's pole and what it actually symbolizes? The barber's pole colors are a legacy of a long-gone era when people went to barbers not just for a haircut or shave, but also for bloodletting and other medical procedures. During the Middle Ages, bloodletting, which involves cutting open a vein and allowing blood to drain, was a common treatment for a wide range of maladies, from sore throat to plague. Monks, who often cared for the sick, performed the procedure, and barbers, given their skill with sharp instruments, sometimes provided assistance. The red of the barber's pole represents blood, and the white represents the bandages used to stem the bleeding. The pole itself is said to symbolize the stick that a patient squeezed to make the veins in his arm stand out more prominently for the procedure. Interestingly enough, on October 31st, 2015, the Atlantic Daily newspaper ran a story called Life Among the Vampires. The story spoke about real-life vampires who call themselves sanguinarians and who perform bloodletting rituals only with willing donors. According to the article, these real-life vampires feed out of what they are convinced is a biological need, one that generally appears during or just after puberty. Therefore, the fact that on October 31st, or Halloween, Obama appeared on LeBron's show, The Shop, which is connected to bloodletting, which is also connected to vampirism. This directly connects Obama to vampires and Dracula, who is the son of the devil, and the theme of The Dark Knight Rises once again. October 31st, or Halloween, originated as the pagan celebration of Samhain. According to Celtic mythology, the veil between the other world and our world thins during Samhain, making it easier for spirits and the souls of the dead to return. Jack-o'-lanterns used on Halloween symbolize a fateful deal with the devil. Make a mental note of this, as we'll come back to it in a moment. This year, Halloween was accompanied by a blue moon, and in fact, this blue moon was the first Halloween full moon in 76 years. We've been discussing the number 76 as it relates to Obama recently. You will remember he gave his speech at the DNC on August 19th, which was 76 days before November 3rd, or Election Day.
Tonight, I want to talk as plainly as I can about the stakes in this election. Because what we do these next 76 days will echo through generations to come.
The speech was given at the American Revolution Museum in Philadelphia, connecting it to 1776 and the Philadelphia 76ers. 7 plus 6 is 13, which also connects to rebellion. Interestingly enough, the last time a full moon fell on Halloween was in 1944, connecting this Halloween to number 44, Obama, as well. The Halloween full moon was also a hunter's moon. The full moon is also connected to wolves howling and werewolf mythology, although wolves actually howl to communicate with each other during day or night. The myth still persists. The Shop video was 24 minutes and 36 seconds long. The number 24 is 2 4s, or the number 44. The number 36 is 3 6s and gives us the number 666. Therefore, the time of this interview actually points to number 44 being 666, the Antichrist. The song used for the intro of the show is Nas's Ultra Black from his album King's Disease.
We going ultra black.
The length of the video for Ultra Black is 3:22, a reference to the skull and bones, which symbolizes death. The color of black is also associated with power, death, evil, and rebellion, among other things. This use of symbolism was purposeful. The release date for King's Disease was August 21st, 2020, 17 days after Obama's birthday. Although August is now the 8th month, it was originally named Sextilis in Latin because it was the 6th month in the original 10-month Roman calendar under Romulus in 753 BC. Speaking of Romulus and his brother Remus, the founders of Rome, who were said to have been raised by wolves, which connects back to wolves in sheep's clothing. Therefore, the date August 21st, 2020 gives us the number 13 for rebellion, since 6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals 13. The name King's Disease is a reference to the coronavirus, since kings wear a crown or corona. You will notice at the center of the album artwork that there is an empty throne surrounded by red angels who just so happen to be the color of fire, which represents the angels from the bottomless pit. One angel is placing a crown on the seat of the throne, which has 2020 at the center of its backrest. There are 2 symbols on either side of the crown sitting in the middle of the throne, which are the alchemical symbols for amalgam. The amalgam symbol means a mixture or blend. This is a reference to the kingdom of the Antichrist, the iron mixed with miry clay, found in Daniel 2:43, as well as Genesis 6:4, when the fallen angels mingled themselves with the seed of men, forming giants.
Today I am joined by researchers who invent some of the most advanced metals on the planet. Basically, I'm here to announce that we're building Iron Man. I'm going to blast off in a second. This has been a secret project we've been working on for a long time.
Remember Obama's connection to the New York Giants in their Super Bowl win. Also, LeBron James is 6 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 250 pounds, with a wingspan of 7 feet, a giant of a man to say the least. The throne is also surrounded by flowers and fruit, with the serpent positioned on the right side of the throne. The serpent and flowers represent the dragon, that old serpent, the devil, and Satan in the Garden of Eden. The flowers and fruit also represent the season of spring, which is the time of growth, rebirth, and renewal. Spring also represents the month of Nisan and harvest time, as we discussed in the previous video. Beneath the throne is a human skull, which represents death. We know that through Satan's actions in the Garden of Eden, sin and death entered into the world. This is the disease which corrupted not only humankind, but the entire creation, and is the sole reason the true Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, became a living sacrifice, the Lamb without spot or blemish, who takes away the sins of the world. There's also a machete in the severed head of a wild boar at the bottom left. Antiochus IV Epiphanes, the king of Syria, captured Jerusalem in 167 BC and desecrated the temple by offering the sacrifice of a pig on the altar to Zeus. This was the abomination of desolation and what the head of the wild boar represents. Also, around the throne, there is a replica of the U.S. presidential seal with the words King's Disease on the outer ring. Nasir bin Olu Dara Jones on the second ring, which is Nas's given name. Interestingly enough, Nasir means helper or supporter and one who gives victory. Bin means the son of. Olu means God or deity and is a shortened form of Oludumare, the supreme deity of the Yoruba, an African people of Nigeria. Oludumare participates in a calm, restful, rather inactive life. He is not interested or involved when it comes to earthly matters and lets other Orishas, who are described as his sons and daughters, answer human concerns through divination, possession, sacrifice, and more. This so-called God is definitely not the Most High, the one true God. Dara means possessor or sovereign, one who takes, occupies, and holds possession of something. Therefore, Nas's name means a supporter and son of the pagan god Oludumare, who is his possessor and sovereign lord. Finally, on the innermost ring of this seal are the words Oba Alkebulan. The word Oba means king. It is a Benai and Yoruba title for certain royal rulers. Oba, of course, is a reference to Obama. In the native religion of the Yoruba people, the word Oba is also the name of Orishas, which are supernatural beings or spirit. Interestingly enough, the symbol for Oba is lightning in the sword or machete. This is why the machete is pictured at the foot of the throne. And as we know, Barak means lightning. So we can be absolutely sure that the throne on the cover of Nas's album, King's Disease, is meant for Barack Obama. Interestingly enough, the name Alkebulan is the ancient name of Africa. Alkebulan means Mother of Mankind or Garden of Eden. Thus, on the cover of Nas's album, King's Disease, we see the serpent, who is the devil and Satan, in the Garden of Eden, connected with the African name for the Garden of Eden. We are also shown a representation of the crown or coronavirus, the evil spirit Oba, which means king and points to Obama as that king, whose symbol is lightning, which in Hebrew is Barak. And to top it all off, these words are written in a fashion that imitates the presidential seal with a throne that was provided by the dragon himself as a reference to Revelation 13:2 and the severed head of a wild boar at the foot of that throne, representing the abomination of desolation. This album cover is telling you that the king of the Garden of Eden is the serpent, and this evil spirit will be mixed, combined, or amalgamated into the human body of Barack Obama, the false Messiah. Further, we cannot forget the fact that Nas himself was once portrayed as the false Messiah. When the interview begins, Obama congratulates LeBron James on his recent victory with the Los Angeles Lakers over his former team, the Miami Heat, which was meant to be a symbolic representation of the lost or fallen angels from the lake of fire.
So we have the 44th President of the United States of America here with us. What's up, Mr. President? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, Maverick, and LeBron, congratulations, champ.
I appreciate you.
One more ring, one more trophy.
This was the Lakers' 17th NBA title. Remember, we spoke about the constant use of the number 17 in satanic rituals in the previous video. It is important to note that the last time the Lakers won a championship was in 2010 with Kobe Bryant, who died earlier this year in a helicopter crash. It was recently brought to my attention by two of my brothers here on YouTube that when LeBron passed Kobe on the career scoring list, it was his 44th game of the season, and after that game, LeBron has played 44 games. The 44th was when he won the championship. Moreover, the last time the Lakers and Heat played each other in the regular season was 44 days before Kobe died. In the beginning of this interview, Obama states that LeBron James has made a deal with the devil to accomplish these things.
Come on, man.
And he's still going. He left the bubble and went right to the gym and started working out again. You know what I'm saying?
He did some sort of deal with the devil. You see how he's getting younger? Something's not right.
It appears that the devil LeBron made the deal with is none other than number 44, Barack Obama. Further, Obama's statement about making a deal with the devil connects back to the release of this video on Halloween and the jack-o'-lanterns being a symbol of making a deal with the devil. Nothing is done by coincidence. Notice the hat LeBron is wearing in this photo. It's a white horse, a reference to Revelation 6:2, the rider on the white horse. In closing, this is just one more example which provides evidence that Obama is most definitely the future Antichrist. Each and every detail was purposefully placed so that those with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to understand would see and know the truth. That being said, the world will not have an excuse when they stand before the judgment seat of the Most High and He asks them to give an account as to why they chose to be a part of the great apostasy, the falling away, and willingly worshipped the Antichrist. They will not be able to say, "We did not know." If you have not given your life to the Most High by accepting the blood sacrifice of the Paschal Lamb, Yehoshua HaMashiach, that was shed on the cross for the redemption of sins, the time to do so is now. Amen. Shalom.